Hi, and welcome to the FLX Exercise Ball How-To. If you don't have time for a workout, you can always use the exercise ball to sit on during your workday. It's a great way to passively strengthen your core muscles, to find stability, and help ease and prevent back pain. If you do have time for your workout, grab that exercise ball and let's go ahead and begin. Start with feet slightly turned out and wider than hip width distance. Hold on to the exercise ball with your palms and begin to twist from side to side. We want to stay stable in our lower body as we twist from left to right, alternating which hand comes on top every time you move from side to side. Just slowly warming up the arms and the core here and switching into our squats. So you can extend the legs out further. We're coming into an external rotation as we begin to lower down and lift back up. Lower the ball, lift back up. Warming up the legs, slowly elevating our heart rate as we move the ball up and down in our squats. Last one here. Next, we're going to elevate our twist by moving the legs side to side with us. So every time you twist to the right, bring up the right knee, twist to the left, bring up the left knee. Really feel like you're slicing the air with the FLX exercise ball every time you move from side to side. Always have the option to keep the feet planted and continue the exercise like we found in the beginning of the class if that works better for you. Next, we're going to plant the exercise ball down on the ground. Hold on to it as you walk yourself forward and come down through seated. You might have to adjust slightly. Feet are planted firmly on the ground. Hands come behind head as we begin our crunches. Working with the exercise ball allows you to have a greater range of motion every time you extend back, and then exhale as you curl forward, deepening that core crunch. Take two more here. Last one. On your next one, come up part way, twist to the right, and then exhale, twist to the left. So we're maintaining that core crunch position, but finding some rotation in our upper body, activating your obliques, and moving from side to side. Feet are planted firmly. Your lower body is not going anywhere. You're just rotating from that core up. And last one, find your way back through seated and come up through standing. To transition, we're going to bring our body down forward over the exercise ball, finding a modification in our tabletop. So our hands are pressing down, and then press your right hand down and tuck your left toes. Reach a long diagonal with the left arm forward and right leg back and begin to pulse. We're working against the stability of the exercise ball in between us, and then switch to the opposite side. Begin to pulse right arm forward and left leg back. Variation here, you can always work one leg at a time. You can always work one arm at a time. Transitioning here, we're going to step the legs back so you have a stable base and then begin to lift through the top of the chest. So your torso comes onto the exercise ball, belly down, and then arch and lift by engaging your spine to rise up through center. You can extend the arms out to the side or even up and overhead. Find the variation that feels comfortable and challenging for you today. Legs stay active, long and lengthened behind you, just moving and activating through the spine. To release, let the knees lower, hands come down, travel to the back of your mat, bring the ball with you, and then step forward so the hands come down and tops of the feet come onto the exercise ball. Variation 1 is staying here. Variation 2, you can draw the knees into the core. Variation 3, pike the hips up, traveling the hips closer to the shoulders. Putting it all together, you'll bring the knees in, then lift the hips straight up into your pike. Last time here, bring the legs forward to come out of it. We'll adjust here, bringing your hands down onto the floor and then the exercise ball underneath your thighs, finding a modification on our push-up position. So we have more support by the ball holding part of our body weight, and you can adjust it to make it more difficult by traveling the ball closer down towards the feet. You're working with some resistance here, but it really allows you to find activation through the front part of the body and work slowly and mindfully in this modified push-up. To get out of it, I like to travel to the back of my mat and then rolling onto our backs, we're going to bring the ball to the front of our mat, roll yourself down and take the heels of the feet onto the ball. Plant the hands firmly down into the floor and rise the hips up into a bridge position. I want you to focus on articulating the spine here. It's very challenging, but very worth it. If that works for you and you want to go for an additional challenge, begin to straighten the legs and use the hamstrings to curl the heels back towards you. Just one last one here. I know it's so challenging. And then when the heels are in, slowly articulate all the way down to the floor. Roll over to one side and push yourself up through seated. We'll bring our right shin to the front of your mat and then back shin to the side of your mat, and then push the ball away from you as you lateral bend over to your right side, away from the legs. Giving you a little bit of a break here, we just work the lower body. And then exhale, release, take nice side stretches here using the ball to support you and push your hand into the ball to come back up. Right away, switching on to the opposite side, front shin parallel to the side of the mat and then back leg comes behind you. Exhale, push down to the left and then push your hand down to rise up through center. Exhale, push your hand down and up. 3 more like that. Last 2. Last 1. Come up through seated, plant the feet firmly down onto the ground and then roll yourself back into a really nice release. Feet can stay flat on the floor or they can lengthen out long. Arms can lengthen out, come to the side, grab onto opposite elbows. Whatever helps you relax the most here, you've certainly earned it. Getting that nice release through the front of the body and just breathe here. To come out of it on your exhale, bend the legs if they were straightened, slowly roll yourself up through seated and you are all set. Hope you enjoyed.